All right. All right. Everyone, what the hell? I say it should be open to everyone. Okay, so I didn't do that. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. There we go. There we go. There we go. How is everybody doing today? Welcome to the show. This is Sunday night hangout. I'm actually not even going to be naming these things now. I'm just going to be just doing these hangouts without even naming them. I actually want to see if I could have, you know what I should have done? I should have probably created a post early on to let people know that we were going to be going live. Well, everybody should know because we've been going live at the same time every week. You see, the Substack people know. They're already flooding in. Miss Bob, how are you? CLT Dale, Holly Bentley, how are you guys doing? Please introduce yourselves as you come into the room on Substack Live. Please introduce yourselves as you come into the Substack Live chat so I know who you are. We are always live 10 p.m. Sunday nights. I know it's a little late for some people. 10 p.m. Eastern time Sunday nights, 7 p.m. Pacific. 7 p.m. Pacific for those who are on that time zone. Lifestyle with Abby, good evening. Happy Easter to you too. How are you doing? Happy Easter to you too. How are you doing? We are live and direct. I think people will start picking up slowly and gradually as people know that we're live here. So this is just an open conversation. I gained a ridiculous amount of subscribers over the last week. I gained, you know what, I should actually change the title to I just gained 15,000 subscribers in 3 weeks, which is what has happened. I've gained 15,000 subscribers on YouTube in the last 3 weeks. 10,000 of them, I think, in the last 2 weeks, which is pretty crazy. I should actually make that the title of this live. You know, let me change it. I mean, you know, I might as well so people know what the hell is going on. Why my African channel gained 15K subs in three weeks. Yes, let me do that. There we go. There we go. I just changed it. Guys. How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? I'm doing what I can for Africa. You know, I mean, listen, like, you know, part of the thing I was actually even going to talk about in today's show is actually how crazy it is to know when you have a purpose. Like, it's a very crazy feeling because you spend a lot of your life just trying to figure out what you're here for, like why you're even on the planet. And then sometimes you get to a point and you just realize that, you know what? And as you're doing it, you feel that I think this is what I'm supposed to be doing. That's how I feel about this. It feels like all the years that I've been wandering around trying to figure things out, it feels like this is actually what I'm supposed to be doing. I was never supposed to be doing the other stuff I'm sort of still doing. I'm trying to get out of it. But it just doesn't hold any allure to me anymore. My old ways holds no allure. Holds no allure. I'm a new man. I'm reborn. I'm a new man reborn. And I feel fantastic about it. An old white girl. Okay, Nan, how are you? Old white girl, how are you doing? I'm sure you're not that old. Nan, I'm sure you're not that old, but good to have you here. Good to have you here. So tell me, what brought you to the channel? Your interest in Africa? How did you find us? How did you find us? And you're you know, like I said, you're very welcome. I'm glad that you are part of the of my viewership, of my readers on Substack. 70. Wow! Congratulations! Congratulations! 70 years young. 70 years young. Nan is 70 years young. Congratulations! Listen, anybody who can get up there, every day is a blessing. You know. And in Africa, we respect our elders. So I don't know how they do it in Europe. I don't know how they do it in Europe. But in Africa, the elders are important. I know in Europe, they don't care about old people. I'm not even going to say old. We just say elders. We're not saying old. Nobody's old. But they don't care about older folks or elders in the UK and the US. They only care about the kids. Everything they do is focused on children. I'm intriguing. Oh, wow. Thank you. Nan believes that I am intriguing. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Lady like me, Elite Shining, sending love from the USA, from Vegas. Nice to have you here. Van Dern. My old ways, it doesn't. It has no allure. I'm a new man now. That is how you know that you're on the right path. When all the things you used to chase, you look at them and you realize that, you know what, I don't actually care about this stuff anymore. The things that used to motivate you, like the things that you were striving for, you look at them and you're like, I can't believe that that was what I was doing. I was doing it for that? Listen, things change. Like, part of it for me is that when I look at like the state of the continent of Africa and my ancestors' sacrifices, and I'm thinking to myself that how am I going to live and not carry the torch? Your dad would be 93. Oh, wow. Okay. Conrad Brown from Florida. Nice to see you. Amy Corcoran. Nice to have you here. Jeanette. Frank Johnson. Sheung. John McPlenty. Shout out everybody. Like I said, guys, every time you come into my Substack live, it's a community. So I actually remember people. So everybody can tell you, I remember you. So you've got to introduce yourself. You see, Nana's introduced herself. I will remember her next time that she comes in the live. Like I take everybody seriously. I remember everybody. So always introduce yourself when you come into the show. Let me know who you are, where you're coming from, how you find the channel, what your interests in Africa are. Let me know these things. Let me know these things. Lorraine Lewis, welcome to the show. Lorraine Lewis, how are you doing? How are you doing? Yeah, but you know what I think? For me, it's actually less about, it's not even the profit thing. It's more a case of this. Star Smith, how are you? How are you? Star Smith. Star Smith, you're not a member of the 300, are you? Are you the same person or you're a different person? Are you the same person or a different person, Star Smith? Are you the 300th star? Because I've got a lot of stars in the community. Anyway, so I gained a crazy amount of subscribers, guys, on YouTube. Crazy. 15,000 subscribers. Unbelievable in the last few weeks. It is very, 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 very crazy. And I think a lot of it. Oh, you are? Oh, okay, nice. Nice. Let me bring you in, Star Smith. Let me bring you in. If you're the same person, we've had many good conversations on 300 channels. Click the link. If you have a camera or webcam, get on here. Let me bring you into the conversation for a little bit. Click the link. Yes, guys. So, and there's going to be cleaning going on behind me. So please, try and don't pay attention to the person behind the curtain. Wizard of Oz. Yes. So, oh damn. I think that the key reason why this has been happening is that there is there's a renewed, I don't want to even say renewed interest. There's always been an interest in African history and, the diaspora being interested in reconnecting with African history. And I think when people hear somebody, come out and actually talk about these things the way that I do, and it's not just a AI voice, it's not just a where they just throw some things together and just, African facts or whatever. And you actually hear somebody talking about it with a level of passion that I have for learning about this history and talking about these things. I think that really resonates with people, even people that aren't African. Because you see, the lie that has been told. Let's see what people are saying with kids. Okay, no problem. I don't believe in existentialism per se. Thank you, Tanya Roberts. It's per se because it would imply there's no God. However, I'm glad that the dominion you have over your life feels purposeful and fruitful. Yes. I mean, I would say, listen, like I said, that's what we're going to be talking about today. This is kind of an existential show. And I'd love to have people in here. Brand Fleurs, what's up? Brand Fleurs, what is up? Oh, what did I just do? Oops. Yeah, I would love to have people in here, if you have thoughts on this, because like I said, this is an existential conversation that we're going to be having about these things. But yeah, like I feel like when people see that, it actually has an impact because everybody's been lied to about us and they continue to be lied to and misdirected. So most of the things that you're seeing are just a distraction from what actually matters, especially when it comes to Africa and the diaspora. Like nobody wants you, like I said, that line I just said, don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. It is the Wizard of Oz. Like everything is just a distraction so that you can't stop for a moment and think, why is everyone so obsessed with distracting us? A lot of the things that you're seeing in the media and entertainment don't actually matter. Most of it doesn't actually. Why do you think that everybody's going to space all of a sudden? There's wars going on all over the world, and then all of a sudden, all these celebrities are going to space? Why? If that is not just to re-energize a whole conversation about something that we don't even know if it's real or not. Because listen, I am a space skeptic. Yes, I said it. I don't know if I believe in any of that stuff. Outer space and Mars and all that. I don't know if I believe it. And I have my reasons for that. For real. So why is everybody suddenly going to space? Why? All of a sudden, I was looking at the news. I'm like, all these celebrities, like tons of them, space trip, this and that, whatever. I'm like, what? And then that's now all over the news. I'm like, guys, there are serious things going on. Nobody gives a toss about that. I don't give a damn who's going to space. It means nothing. All you do is go to space and look at the planet and come back. That's all you do. What's that about? You go to space and then you look through a window and you look at the earth and then you come back down. Guys, somebody explain to me the point of doing that in 2025 and the fact that they're still doing that in 2025. They've been doing these space trips for the last 50, 40 years or whatever, just going up there and looking down and coming back. For what? For what? Listen, I don't believe. Listen, I'm telling you, and I don't want to get into that today. But that whole space thing and the moon and all of that sort of stuff, I don't know about it. Quote me. I said that the Meg said he doesn't know about that. Tell them when they ask you about it, say that the Meg said he's not sure about that. The Meg said he doesn't know. You're still going to space after 50, 60 years. You haven't gone to Mars. You haven't built a space station on the moon. You're just going out there floating around looking at the planet. For what? Do you believe in climate change? Listen, let's not get into climate change right now. All I know is that I have 15,000 subscribers in the last few weeks. That's all I've got to say. Why is everybody so interested in Africa? Somebody tell me. I want to hear your opinions. Everybody in the comments, tell me why people have come to my channel. I want to know. I want to know. Because I want to hear your opinions. That's the reason why we're on the show. I want to hear your opinions. Why do you think that so many people have joined? Because we're going to get, like, again, the newsletter. When I do the things I'm going to be doing for the Substack, we're going to get 1 million people on that newsletter. Because nobody's doing this stuff for Africa. Like, nobody's actually has a publication where we actually talk about things like this. Everything is just a news, like there's a news thing or whatever. We need an African hub for Africa and the diaspora, building the bridge. Then we can start doing real things. We start having real conversations about the truths that have been hidden from us. You see, the problem I tell people is this, right? The beauty of this, and as Brian Flores is talking about the 300 and the beauty of what it is, the 300 project has been picked. We voted. We're doing it. Brian Flores, let the people know. Are we waiting for anybody, Brian Flores? Are we waiting for anybody? Brian Flores, tell them. Anybody in here who's from the 300, let the people know if we've made a plan and we're now waiting for investment. We're now trying to pitch it to people. Just tell them what's going on in the 300. Let them know. He said, no, we're not. Let me put what Brian Flores said. No, we're not. Brian Flores, instead, what are we doing? When we have when we make a decision in the 300, what's the results? What's the results? We just do things. Action. John McPlenty is in the 300, exactly. Action. Action. Nan, you should join the 300, Nan. As an elder, you know, of humanity, you should join the 300 as well. You're welcome. That's the key. That's the difference. You see, the thing I try to tell people, I try to teach people, I try to imbue in your brains is the sickest thing that ever got done to us is the thought that we have to ask permission before we can do anything for ourselves. That's the sickness. That's the problem. The fact that you believe that the only way to salvation and validation is through another human, through another culture who has a history of maligning and destroying you is crazy to me. It's crazy to me. I can't go back. My eyes have been opened. Let me do it for you. My eyes have been opened. And once they're opened, you can't close them anymore. I see clearly now. The rain is gone. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. If you know that track. So that's the reason why I think so many people have come over to the channel. That's the reason why I think so many people have signed up. Tell you how, 300. Okay, let me give you guys a quick view of the 300 real quick for people who don't know. We're going to watch it. And then, so you can know what it is. And then anybody who wants to join can join, okay? We're going to watch that.
Have you seen the movie 300? It's based on the ancient myth of 300 Greek Spartan warriors that defeated an army of Persians. This gave me an idea. I don't need an army of thousands. I only need 300 committed individuals. 300 people who believe and are ready to fund the creation of content that educates, inspires, and uplifts us. Each quarter, the 300 will decide what projects to create. Each quarter, they will provide the resources to make it happen. I'll set the base rate at maybe $100 once a quarter when the project is voted on, but any individual can decide to put in more. Together, we'll create a system that cannot be censored, silenced, or suppressed. Are there 300 of you willing to work with me to do what we need to do? If so, there is a link to the 300 form in my profile bio and in the description of this video, depending on where you are watching this. The world will not save Africa, and it never will.
There you go, guys. There you go. There you go. There you go. So that is what it is. Oh, what's going on here? Why is my thing not? Click here to, what's happening here? This thing is not allowing me to switch out of my editor. At least you can hear me, guys. So that is what it is. I'm trying to click. There we go. 300 has already started. So we've already done the Q1 meeting. We voted. The donations are in. If you want to join now, you would immediately put in your donation or contribution into the pot, and then you would be given access to the special Telegram group. And then you will join us in production, because we're already in production. What I was trying to say is that we're people of action and we're already doing it. So now if you join, you're now part of the train that's already moving. We're already moving forward. So everybody who wants to get involved, you can go to that website on the screen, www.the300.io. And you can then put in your application and join. And listen, guys, like I said, the difference between this, thank you, Mega. You just saw it and I'm live. Yes, you're lucky. You just got me. You got me live. Like I said, Mega might be one of my new subscribers because, like I said, I've got 15,000 people in the last few weeks. It's insane. But that is how you join. That is how you join. Okay. And I would definitely like everybody who's serious to get involved, and only serious people. I do not want anybody who's fair weather. We had 800 people apply. I got rid of 700 of them because guys were not serious. So just, in fact, there are people who even got in that I got rid of after I realized their mentality. I didn't like their mentality. And if I don't like your mentality, I might get rid of you anyway. Because this is not just about money. It's an actual initiative that is moving. And again, I think that the excitement I have is that when I see the reaction that people are having to learning about real African history and having real discourse and taking control of our own narrative, and I see the way people are reacting to those things, it gives me a lot of heart of the way people are going to react when we start producing the materials that I'm going to be making. And this is the real power of it. The fact that I do not have to go to the establishment to do any of these things. Because you see, the videos I'm making now, or that I'm going to be making, I'm going to be shifting back to a real focus on African history. A real focus on it. The hidden aspects, the stuff that people don't talk about. I'm going to be moving back to that now. And a lot more material you're going to be seeing is going to be focused a lot more on that, as opposed to just this, the current affairs thing. The current affairs thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be hiring staff for my newsletter to deal with current affairs. I'm going to be hiring staff for my newsletter to be dealing with current affairs. So they'll be posting current affairs material while I'll be dealing with the history. That's how we're going to be doing it. So that current affairs we'll have a team on the ground in Africa dealing with current affairs articles and posts that'll be going into the newsletter. And then everything else I'll be dealing with the history. Because I think that there is a connection between the two things. And I want to make sure that I'm taking care of all aspects and serving my audience properly and educating them on exactly how to look at current affairs in the context or through the lens of African history, the stuff that you don't know about how things. So for example, the Congo-Rwanda conflict, once you understand the history of those countries and how they came to be what they are, everything that they're going through now makes a lot more sense. Everything that they're going through now makes a lot more sense. Guys, if you're in the YouTube, I see there's over 100 of you guys now coming to the YouTube feed. Please introduce yourselves. If you're listening to this live, I keep telling you, don't just be an innocent bystander. There's no innocent bystanders here. Introduce yourselves so we know that you're in the house. Leave it in the comments so we know that you're here. Gather My Stories, welcome. Lisa G, welcome. Cynthia B. Dadar, or Dada, welcome. Dada, welcome. Mary Anderson, and Dana Carter. Rachel. Okay, how is everybody doing? Welcome to the show on Substack Live. So yeah, guys, that's the real goal, That's the real goal. Is really to be able to take more control over the narrative, so to speak. But I think yes, I definitely want to move more in that direction now that I see the reaction that I'm getting and the hunger that there is for certain things. Because what I've looked at and I've realized is that there are two schools of thought, or two pots that you can think of when you think about African or Black creators. There's the pot of people who are symbolic, are part of essentially what the machine is. Like they are successful within the matrix. And then there's people who are outside the matrix, So the question I ask myself is that how much can you really do that benefits us if you're in the matrix? If your success comes from that, you're not going to be able to do anything. Greetings, Bridging the Gap. Bridging the Gap, are you in the Q2 Telegram group? Did you make it through to Q2 on the 300? I just want to make sure. Did you make it through to Q2? Have you gotten the announcements? Have you gotten the emails, the messages, the information, the materials? Bridging the Gap? Just making sure, because I remember you. Howard Foster, what's up, Howard Foster? How are you doing? That is the question. Okay, let's see what you're saying. What were you? Oh, I missed what John My Plenty. What question are you? Oh, you're talking about what I just said. Yes, I mean that. For me, it's not rocket science. Like all of these guys. Listen, I don't want to get real religious with you or spiritual with you, but when you really understand the nature of evil, once you really start understanding it, there's a lot of things that make sense. There's a lot of things that make sense. So when I look at this, I'm like, yeah, it's supposed to look good. It's supposed to look great. So you're in the Telegram, Bridging the Gap. Okay, good. Because some people didn't get the Telegram link. What's your name in the Telegram? If you're in there, are you called Bridging the Gap? I didn't see Bridging the Gap in the Telegram. What's your name in the Telegram group? Yeah, my Instagram is weak. That thing is weak. Damn. What the hell? Instagram is weak. Yeah. So yes. Anyway, that's the thing. So you really understand it, and you're just like, wow, man. The only way, which is why Captain Traore, the Sahel Alliance, those people, Assimi Goita, General Tiani, Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, those three countries and what they're doing, that is the symbol of where we should go. You've got to go your own way. You got to go your own way. And it feels very empowering for me personally, having a platform like this where I'm able to have these sorts of lives and these sorts of conversations with people. Angela let me see, are you in there? I don't think that you're in. Let me look in the Telegram group. I don't think I saw you in there. Let me see if you're in here. Oh, you just joined. Like literally just now. I see you literally just joined. Yeah, I was right. You weren't. I didn't see you before. You literally just joined. Okay, good. All right, I see you now. Great. Great. And you saw the announcement of the winning project, I assume. Don't say what it is, please. Nobody say what it is. If you were in the 300 meeting, please don't announce it to anybody. That's confidential. But I hope you saw the announcement. Am I in America? Nan is asking. Nan, I do not divulge my location because people are looking for me. I'm on the most wanted list. So I can't divulge my info of my location, unfortunately. You know, I'm most wanted now. So I keep that under wraps. I keep it under wraps. I don't care about IG Conrad Brown anymore. IG now is an outreach platform. Like I use IG just to make announcements on reels or posts. I can't take it seriously because that thing is so temperamental. I have no idea whether something is going to be said. That thing is, it's not as bad as TikTok. TikTok is worse, much worse, because you never know what's going to happen with TikTok. But Instagram is like, how are you there? You don't know. You don't know. The lives, hardly anybody goes on my lives on that platform. Hardly anybody. Yeah, I mean, look, with the 300, yes, I'm going to listen. As that thing gains power, I think that the thing about it, Brown Fleurs, is this. Right now, people are not taking 300 seriously because they haven't seen what we are going to make. When Project One hits, guys' brains will get readjusted. Click, clack. Like the sound of the brain readjustment will actually be click, clack. Because you know, a brain is not supposed to make a sound like that. It's actually organic. It's supposed to be mushy and organic. But the rearrangements of the brains of people will be click, they'll be click, clack, click, clack. It will make a different kind of sound when guys realize what's going on. Then things change. Then things change. Miss Creole Rose, yeah, IG is a joke. I can't take it seriously. And I definitely cannot be relying on IG for this initiative. Hell no. I can't be relying on it for this stuff. You know? I cannot rely on it for this stuff at all. Which is the reason why I'm like, you know, I've gone the newsletter route, the emailing route, Telegram. Because the thing is that we're building, like, you see, everything starts slow. We're building, and we're going to get, once we get to the point where the 300 people in the initiative are solid. Because right now, the people who've contributed, these are solid people. Like Angela, bridging the gap here, solid. Brand Fleurs, solid. Lisa G, solid. John McPlenty, solid. All these folks are solid. So we want people like them. And when I have 300 people like them, then the games begin. Because all I ever needed was an engine. I never had that before. The machine wasn't going to give it to me. That's what I had to get through my thick skull. Machine was never going to do it. I had to come to the community. But those were that was in my past when I didn't know what was going on. That was in my past when I was still trying to, play the game. Things have changed. How many spots are left to meet the targeted 300? Whew, that's a good question. It depends. We went well over 300 people. Like I said, we have 800 plus people applied. I just didn't accept everybody. So I don't want to even say what the number is because it is fluctuating. Like some people have messaged and they want to come back or they had a problem, whatever. So we're still trying to figure that out. So, which is why I'm telling people that if you are serious and you're listening to this right now, now is the time to apply. Because once I get to 300, there will be no more spots left. I'm not going to accept more than that. So if you're interested and you're serious and you're ready to put in your contribution right now for Q1, because you've got to put in your Q1 contribution now, it's 4 quarters a year. That's it. There's no membership fees, none of that. You don't have to worry about monthly, none of that. It's your word. Is your word bond? Do you have integrity? That's what it comes down to. And if so, get in. Because like I said, the project has already been decided. It's in production as we speak. We voted. The winning project has been announced. It's in production as we speak. I do not waste time. I do not waste time. So it's just a question of those that want to join forces. and be a part of the initiative. But yeah, I mean, look, I think that aspect I underestimated. I really did underestimate the affinity and appetite, like the affinity for history. I underestimated that. I think that, I knew it was big, but I didn't realize how big a deal it is. I think that man, I mean, the appetite for this stuff, because the lies have been there have been so many lies. My main thing, I tell you this is what concerns me the most. It's not just telling stories about Africa that matters to me. It is that they're told separate from them, from the machine. That's more important. I don't want Hollywood to make a Mansa Musa story because it will be compromised. They cannot do it properly. It just can't happen. They will compromise it either by the way they make the actors look, the way they feel, the things they say, the things they do. They are compromising that thing because in their brains, the only way that they can think about doing that is that we have to make it so that white people will buy it. Their focus is that how do we get people who are not African to like this thing and to pay tickets to go and watch it? We should not be thinking about that. The focus is truth and taking care of the ancestors, aka our ancestors. That's all that matters, because when they do atonement, do they think about us when they're doing Dunkirk? Are they thinking about us when they do Dunkirk? I don't think so. We weren't even on the beaches in that movie when we know that there were African regiments on the beach and Indians. Where were they in that movie? Nowhere to be found. They awarded it. Where were the Africans and the Indians in Dunkirk? Nowhere to be found. They awarded it. Because we can't be heroes in World War II. You heard it here first. We'll be heroes in slavery, yes. They will allow us to be getting whipped and wearing rags in antebellum South. That's okay. Yes, we can be doing that. You will put us in the rags and in the, yes, now we understand what we're looking at. Then within that framework, they'll allow you to do whatever you want to do. You can be fighting and doing whatever. That's okay. We can't be heroes in World War II. You see, the thing is, and this is the thing, people say, well, you know what, there's Red Tails, which George Lucas made, and there's been these other films that have been made about World War II, about African regiments. I'm not interested in that. I want to talk about the big battles that you guys praise and you erased us from those battles. That's what I don't want to talk about, the African regiments. Dunkirk, the beaches of Normandy. Do you know how many wars and battles that there were that you know about, that we were involved in as Africans, in operations during World War I and II that we were involved with, that they pretend you had nothing to do with it? Imagine fighting a war and giving your life and you're colonized. That's the craziest part. You're not even fighting, you're fighting for your master. Quote unquote. This is real history. These are the stories that need to be talked about. They made a Napoleon movie with no mention of Dumas and Haiti. Thank you, John McPlenty. Insane. Insane. There's a Napoleon movie out there and Haiti wasn't even mentioned. We saw his entire life and fall in that movie, and there was no mention of the Haiti situation. That was one of the biggest things that Napoleon dealt with and lost. That's one of the biggest things he dealt with during his time, was what was going on in Haiti, which he lost. Now, I don't complain about it because white people made that movie. So there is no reason. It's like they do what they do. Like, now, why would they talk about Haiti? Because then they know that they can't sell tickets to the racist audience that they've cultivated over the last 100 years. They've bred racist ticket buyers. So that they already know that we've created an audience that it will be anti this sort of material. So they say. So they say. Guys, let me tell you something. It's all lies. Why do I have so many people following my platform? Because white people want to know. White folks want to know. You think that all white people are racist? You think that all white people want to see Africa with kids with flies and big bellies on the screen? You really believe that? If you do, you're a fool. That's a lie. There's a lot of white people that just are ignorant. They're just ignorant of African history. They just don't know because they've been lied to their entire lives. So when they see the truth, there's a relief that they have. It's like, because listen, I'm going to tell you something, and this is kind of a complicated concept, but I'll just explain it to you in as simple a form as I can. Humans come into the world and you're not inherently evil, like you're a blank slate. Now, a lot of people have a propensity to want to love each other, to want to be happy, to want to be peaceful. Not everybody, but a lot of people. So you get a lot of people in the white society who look at Africans and they want to connect with Black people. They want to be peaceful with them. They want to. But the problem is everything that they're receiving, all the data and propaganda they're receiving is corrupted. Either it is outright white supremacist racist, like completely racist, or it is corrupted to really, really control how you look at Black people. Really, really be careful about it so that you're not really giving them real, genuine agency within the wider narrative of humanity, within the wider narrative of civilization, all of those sorts of things. Now, how do you then ask those people to make the leap to connect with you in a meaningful way when everything that you're receiving is anti-propaganda or preventing you from making that leap? That's the key. So what ends up happening is that if you can actually put this material out there, there is a demographic within white society that will actually support it more than a lot of Black people because it is like a relief. It's like, I knew it. Because you want to feel, it's like a validation that, finally, I have a reason that makes sense for me to do the right thing. These are the facts. That's the reason why I believe it is so dangerous when you start telling the truth. They're not worried about Black people. You think that these people are worried about Black kids? They don't give a toss about us. They're worried about their children. Ron DeSantis is not worried about Black children. He's worried about white children. He doesn't want white kids to know the truth. That's what they're afraid of. Because they know the impact of truth. It's like these kids are not bad inherently. These kids do not come into the earth with clan masks on and burning crosses. They're just kids. So if a white child comes into the world and then the history books and everything they're reading is telling them the truth and giving them actual perspective on these brown people that they see all over the place, that, now I know where they came from. Most of them don't know how Black people ended up in America because they don't have that context. They just hear slavery. And slavery has been so watered down. And so, let me ask you something, guys. I'm going to tell you this. This is the sickest part of the United States of America. Sick. The United States of America educational system does not teach kids about slavery. The country was built on slavery. It's not in the curriculum as a major block of history. That is insane. That's actually insane. America, the reason why America exists is because of 400 years of slavery. 400 years. How do you miss 400 years out of the history education? And you focus on like 50 years of independence fighting and the Civil War, and that's all you talk about. 400 years, just pretend that it never happened. Guys, this is why I tell Black America, you're doing yourselves a disservice. That's the reason why I said what I said about Kendrick. Who gives a damn about a Super Bowl show? What's that rubbish? No disrespect. I'm just talking. It's a live. Please, guys, I'm not being disrespectful, okay? No disrespect. Okay. But what's all that rubbish? Who gives a damn about that? Dancing? Singing? Teach guys about, guys need to understand what's really going on. Talking about the history of Black America is not whining. It's history. it's not Black history, it's history, then people will not be able to pretend like they don't understand how things are the way they are today. If you actually know the point in history of how you got to where you are today. That's the thing. So for me, the connection between that and our history in Africa is what motivates me. It's like, oh my goodness, you know, the more that I can put this out, there are people of all cultures that take a lot from this. They take a lot from this. Great Blackness's focus, this is his focus. Let me still get, his focus is, why have you got on the same clothes every time you are on here? So everything I just said, this is what Great Blackness's focus is on. That's what the bother. That's what's bothering this individual is my shirt, because I'm wearing the same shirt. That's Great Blackness. Everything I just said, you heard everything I said. His question is, well, if you just joined, maybe you should wait and listen before you comment. If you just joined, listen a little bit, open your ears a little bit before you say anything. Okay? In the future. No disrespect, because I do not know your age. So you might be an elder. I don't mean any disrespect. But I'll be surprised if an elder would say something like that on a channel like this. I'll be surprised. So I don't think you're an elder. I doubt it. I doubt it. Nan is worried about her white grandsons. You should be. You should be. You should be. You should be very worried about them. Because the world has a lot of animosity, built up animosity for white society that has been built up over centuries. And if things do not get resolved the way they should be, it's going to be a really rude awakening. Like, look at what China is doing now with this trade war. Guys don't care anymore. Like, the guys are just like, look, we think we're afraid of you now. We don't care anymore. That's a dangerous place to be. When you've ruled with fear, at some point, people will stop being afraid. When you've ruled with love and respect, that lasts forever. When it's fear, you build up animosity, and those people that you're ruling with fear are just waiting for the day when they'll be able to get one over on you. That's the risk about going on a fear-based crusade. Very dangerous place to be, Mandy's Candy. Very dangerous. And they know it too. That's why guys are scared. White society knows. They're like, listen, man, this is scary. Like, everywhere we look, Latinos have issues with us. Indians have issues with us. Chinese have issues with us. Africans have issues with us. Black Americans have issues with everybody. And legitimate issues. Not even like they're just making stuff up. The guys have legitimate gripes. So it's scary because you're looking at them and you're like, what's going to happen to your grandchildren? Like, what's going to happen then? Of course it's scary. Which is why I tell people that, listen, man, all this stuff where you're still trying to do bravado, big man, big or guy, you're trying to be like the big guy inside, that stuff ain't going to fly no more. Nobody's listening to that. Nobody's listening to that. Nobody. You know? So that's the real situations. Guys, who's coming on the live? I should have actually put the link up here. YouTube, anybody who wants to jump on, because the live, my show is ending in about 15 minutes. If you have thoughts, click that link, I'll bring you in. Make sure your camera's on point, your sound is on point, lighting is on point. Get in the show. Jenna Maki says, I will always remember, America has no friends, only interests. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you see, that's what I'm saying. Wait, that this person says, Big Row Row 1 says that they don't teach that, or that Chinese that built the railroads. You see that, and that's what I want to get out of our system, is the they thing. And neither should they. Neither should they. They've taught us how this is done, and they've taught us that we don't care about you, we care about ourselves. We should take that lesson and do the same thing. All this stuff of kumbaya that Africans keep doing and black people keep doing, it's stupid. It doesn't lead you anywhere. Everybody wants to be friends when nobody is your friend. I don't want to be friends. Like, for what? Like, it's partnerships. It's like interests. It's like, listen, I have something you want, you have something I want, let's talk. Otherwise, we've got nothing to talk about. That's sickness in your brain, where it's like, your goal is to be accepted and validated by this thing, is the crazy part. That's what's stopping progress. That's what's stopping progress. That stuff has to end. You know? And I think at that mentality, the only way that you can actually address something like that is by the kinds of initiatives that we've been talking about. Sojourner, how are you? The link is up, guys, on YouTube. The link is up. Anybody who wants to jump on the live, the link is up. Click the link. Click the link. If you are on Substack, I hope you are aware of the premium tier of Substack, my archives. If you are not a paid member of Substack, you should consider it. Check out my Substack archives, hundreds of articles and posts, videos, notes, podcast episodes, audio, all of those things in my Substack archive. Consider becoming a paid subscriber on Substack. It's only $8 a month, $7.99. That's it. Cup of coffee and a bagel. In fact, I think a cup of coffee and a bagel might be more expensive in New York. Might actually be more expensive than $8. But that's all it is. You should all consider subscribing, and you'll be supporting the further expansion of the newsletter. Like I said, I want to hire some journalists or some people who are going to be posting current affairs news. So you should definitely check that out. You should definitely check that out if you have not. Whew, man. Yeah, guys, you know, so look, it's been a good conversation. Those are the thoughts that I have. Let me see what's going on over here. Yeah, man, it's going to be, I have to make this a good day. I have to make this a good day. I have to make this a good week. Going into a good week, make it a good day, and just got to keep pushing forward, you know. And like I said, I think the fact that I've actually managed to get the 300 going is really great, because now I know that we're in production of a project already. That in and of itself is exciting, that something is already in the works. Something is already in the works. That is definitely exciting. But yeah, man. Anything else? Am I missing anything before I shut us down? I'll shut us down soon. Is there any topics that any questions? This is open questions now, actually. Anything you want to ask me? I'll make this an open question last few minutes. Is there anything you want to ask me that you would want to answer about the platform, about, you know, the situations in the continents, stories I've done, anything whatsoever? Let me know. My goodness. Oh my God. Ay. Oof. I think I actually need it. I don't even want to go and get like I think I have to have like aches and pains now. Joints aching. Listen, guys, do not underestimate the impact of having a good diet. Don't underestimate the impact of having a good diet. Food is everything. A healthy diet is everything. It changes the game. Do you need a clothing manufacturer? Obioma Fashion, why do you ask that? Why do you ask if I need a clothing manufacturer? Chris Extian, how are you? How are you doing? Good to see you. I'm sure you saw the announcement, Chris Extian. Are you in you made it to the Q2 Telegram group, I'm sure. What do you think about the Russia-Ukraine war? Oh my God, that's like a massive. Listen, I mean, that stuff to me is just I wouldn't call it a distraction as much as the US used that for. I think it's all a distraction, to be honest. If I wanted to go into a macro level, but that's like again, that's a whole other conversation. I think all of this is a distraction to prevent humanity from actually stopping and thinking about what is really going on with our existence. I think all of it is a distraction because some of these wars are so nonsensical. They're just so nonsensical. You don't know like what is going on. Will Bram Flores ask, will I be doing more short form videos? Yes. Yes, I will be. Yes, I will be. Obioma Fashion. Okay, Obioma Fashion, email me, info@themec.io. Let me see the quality of your material. info@themec.io. I don't need a clothing manufacturer right now, but it's possible. It's possible in the future, but it depends on the quality of what you produce. If you're producing top quality materials, then we have a conversation. I don't want any polyester. I don't want any of that stuff that just starts to be, match goes on and you turn into a fireball. I don't want none of that. Brown Flores, yes. So short form videos, yes. I'll be looking into that. AES news and updates, current events. AES, I have a whole, listen, that's part of what I need to do through the 300 is I'm going to talk to the advisory board about it, the advisory group in 300 about that, because I do want to introduce a current affairs team to my newsletter. But I want to see what people think about that to deal with these sorts of week-to-week stories. I think I will be doing that because yes, I can't keep tabs on all of these things. It's too much. So if I have some people who are at least just doing stories week to week on these things, just to keep us updated, keep everybody updated on the current affairs, that would work. Okay, Obioma Fashion, like I said, email me info@themec.io. Give me a link to, let me see your work. If you have Instagram, let me see your Instagram. Let me see the materials you've got. Then we can talk business. That's a lie. He said that's yes. I heard Burkinabe's people are protesting against Traore and his government, asking him to step down. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? I don't even need to investigate the story to know it's a lie. I don't even need to investigate that story to know it's a lie. That's fake news. Where did you see that? Post the link. Let me see the publication that said it. Post the link. I want to see the link. Liars. We're in an era now where stories like that, we just look at this, we laugh. Liars. Protesting, telling to step down. For what? They won't tell you why they said they should step down even. I'm sure. Post the link. I actually want to see the link to the story. Yes, no, Chris Extian, you said that. I get it. Where is the link? Give me one link to that story. Put it in the chat. Give me one link to that story and put it in the chat. Because I know it's a lie. I know it's a lie, but I want to see a link. Anybody who can provide me a link where they're saying that I want to see a link saying that Captain Traore should step down according to Burkinabe people. Lies. No. You see, that's what I'm saying. Chris Extian, you're going to try and find it. This is what I'm talking about. The fact you need to try and find it is the problem. Give me that link. Otherwise, we should not be putting stories like that out. Either you find the link or we should not be putting those sort of stories out. Brand Fleurs, you are so right. That is the issue. Brand Fleurs just hit the nail on the head. These people are milking AES for views. That's why I stopped posting stories like that, because I was like, you know what? These guys are just making this stuff up. These people are just making this stuff up and using an AI voice and AI images and just recycling stuff and just posting it and getting hundreds of thousands of views. They're exploiting African viewers. I can't be part of that. So I stopped. I was like, listen, I need to find real news that is verifiable out of the Sahel Alliance countries. Otherwise, I can't be posting this sort of stuff. So many AI channels just post. And listen, the reason why I wasn't even so angry about it was at least they're posting positive stories. So it's positive propaganda. So I'm like, okay, you know what? The West do this sort of thing all the time anyway. So positive propaganda I'm down with that. I'm down with that. Instagram is over. Instagram is over. I think I'm going to stop. Like, Instagram is a waste of my time when it comes to these sort of things. It's a waste of my time. You know? It's hard to get. Yes, yeah, even on Instagram, you have to be careful when you read about those countries as well. Yeah. Chris Extian, so let me guess, you can't find the story, right? I knew it. I knew it. I said that these people are telling lies. Can you find the story? Can you find the story? Let's see. Exactly, you can't. I told you. So what you're hearing is rumors that are being put out there to discredit Captain Traore. That's what you're hearing, and we shouldn't be spreading those things. You see how I challenged you? Other people will not challenge you like that. They'll just start talking, oh, well, and then it becomes, I challenge that. Immediately, I told you it's a lie with immediate effect. Rewind the tape and see how I replied. Rewind the tape. If you're on YouTube and you're rewind, see how I replied. I didn't waste time. I said it's a lie immediately. Show me the footage. Show me the link. Can't do it. I told you. I knew it was false. Zimbabwe paying white farmers reparations. Are they? Are they? I didn't think they were. So I thought the whole point was because they didn't give them reparations. I don't even want to call it reparations, whatever they want to call that, because that's not even reparations. Regardless, are they? You know what's so crazy about these people? South African expropriation, they whine that you are taking land without compensation. Compensation? The same people that will argue against reparations are talking about compensation for what? For stealing? How can we compensate thieves? Have you ever heard of anything so stupid in your life? How can you compensate thieves? The people you stole it from, as they reclaim their property, they should compensate you for taking their property back? Psychopaths. Psychopaths. I want one of these guys to come and interview me. It'll be the last interview they ever do in their lives. When they see the way I will laugh in their face. They should come and interact. I won't even respond to the questions. I'll be like this. I'm serious. They'll be asking questions. This is my response. Let me clear it properly so you can see me. This is how I'll be sitting, like this. Just like that for the whole interview. When they're tired of asking stupid questions, then I will answer them. That's the way the interview will go. Because you see, when you're engaging in nonsense conversations, is when people thinking that they can say rubbish to you. That is how it puts me in the interview. That's the way you ask me that. Yeah, but aren't you going to compensate them for the land? I'll like, this is the compensation. Exactly. That's how you deal with these things. All you guys who are out here talking, arguing, explaining, all this, there's nothing to say. Take it. Let me see you come and try and collect. Come and try and collect. Nonsense and ingredients. It's a different kind of platform here, guys. For those who are new, we keep it real. We keep it real. Chris Exian says, what are your thoughts on China, US tariffs, and Tinubu embracing Chinese language for Nigerians to start learning? What? I didn't know that. So that's news to me. That is news to me. I did not know that. That is news to me. That is news to me. Carol Desbians, how are you? Welcome to the show on Substack. How are you doing? That is news to me. I did not know that. Let us see what we have here. Okay. All right, guys. Look, I need to get out of here now. I need to get out of here. Thank you so much. As I said, everybody, if you are interested in the 300, make sure that you sign up now, the 300.io, www.the300, the number 300.io. Getting your application. You've watched the video. You know what that's about. If you're in the newsletter, consider becoming a paid subscriber. I would be very grateful if you became a paid subscriber on the newsletter, because that's going to help us give you more material, give you better quality material, allow me to survive doing the work that I'm doing. Become a paid subscriber on the newsletter on Substack. Consider it. It's very worthwhile. And when you do it, please go to the website. The emails are one thing, it goes into your inbox, but you've got to click through and go to the archive so you can see all the stuff you missed. Okay? You've got to do that. What is this going on here? Hold on. Yes, so definitely consider that if you are on Substack, because we are now almost a bestseller on Substack. We are almost a bestseller. So I want to push us over the top to become a bestseller, because when you become a bestseller on Substack, that's a major accolade. Let's become a bestseller on Substack. Become a paid subscriber. Let's push it over the top. Push it over the top, guys. That being said, everybody go to the archives, because there's a lot of free content in the archives too. It's not just locked. There's also free content there too. A lot of it is locked for the paid people, but there's a lot of free content. Everything. And a lot of the stuff I talk about is really giving context of African history and current affairs. So I will talk about things in history that allows you to understand some of the things that are going on that you're seeing in the news when it comes to Africa and the diaspora. Okay, that's all I've got, guys. Any last thoughts? Leave it in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me on this show. This was good. I think that we talked about a lot of very interesting and important topics. What's going on here? Oh, I see. We talked about a lot of very interesting and important topics. Next show is going to be next Sunday. Like I said, I think it's now working out as being 10 p.m. Eastern time on Sundays. I think that's what it's because the time zone shifted. So that's what it's working out as. When I move location in a few months, times will change. So we will go back to our regular time that we used to have, which is, I think, noon. I think it's noon on Sundays, Eastern time, 12 noon. We'll be going back to that later on. The hell? Oh. We'll be going back to that later on. But for now, we are not... Oh, sorry, guys, I just got a message. All right. Yeah, guys are trying to get to me. But YouTube, guys, YouTube, are you guys still there on YouTube? Are you still there in Substack? Let me know. Are you guys still there? Who's with me? Who's still with me? Are you still there on YouTube? Are you still there on Substack? Who is still with me? Who is still with me? Oh, I think that okay, some people are here. Okay. All right, guys. Anyway, cheers, guys. Till the next time.